Hello and welcome back to Trial of the Seven Kingdoms, and we are going to be attempting to take Highgarden back in the beginning part of this episode. Now, we do have a slight problem here, as you can see by the varieties of, well, siege icons on my screen at the moment. We are receiving many retaliatory strikes from the Reach, from, well, everyone, basically. Yes, from everyone, because they are all deciding to attack us at once. As you see here, we are at war against the North, of course, but the North haven't really done anything. As you can see, due to the casualties inflicted, they're basically not doing anything at all. It's maybe a bit too far away for them, and that's maybe the reason why they're not deciding to come down here. But, well, that just means that's good for us. And then we have the Reach. Yes, unfortunately, the Reach are doing a fantastic job. They are doing much better than anticipated, because obviously their total strength at the moment is pretty low in comparison to the Westerlands, but they do seem to be putting their, should we say, they're putting their strength in the best possible positions, and they're making the most of it. That's basically what's going on there. And then the Riverlands, well, the Riverlands are not doing very well in terms of their total strength, but once again, still, their casualties inflicted doing pretty nicely. And, well, the Stormlands have just declared war against us a very short time ago, so they're not really, well, they're not really there yet, you know, they're not really doing too much. Anyway, we're going to go in here, and we'll try to take Highgarden. This is, I think this is the first time we've actually decided to besiege a town in this mod. So I'm going to look forward to actually taking this, hopefully, and then seeing what happens to it, because I would love to be able to claim it for myself. But as you know, we don't have first claim or anything like that anymore, so it might not happen. But yeah, anyway, I'm just going to try and get up here as quickly as I can. Try not to get shot in the process. We're pretty exposed here, actually. I'm not a big fan of this. I'm going to actually see if I can just move around the side here instead. There we go. That's a little easier. A little bit better protected, a little bit better sheltered, I suppose you could call it. And I'm going to switch to two-handed stance, and we'll see if we can get a couple of kills with thrown weapons. Seems like most of my troops have already done a massive amount of damage thanks to the amounts of archers that we have on our, well, should we say, on our side, and hopefully I'm going to be able to deal some massive damage here as well. These Reach ranges are actually seemingly quite good by the looks of things. They seem to be pretty damaging, well armored as well, but obviously they are not going to stand up against the Westerlands archers, because the Western Rangers, as we have figured out, are extremely powerful, and if we can get a bunch of those, we should effectively, in terms of ranged combat power, be unmatched, unless the enemy has a relatively similar composition, of course. Anyway, let's see if I can do some more damage here. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm actually hoping that I'll be able to get to 200 in thrown weapons. Maybe we can do some damage here with my javelins. Maybe we'll be able to. Yes, it's going to be a little bit. Oh no. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually hit people from here. Oh, nice. We got him in the head. Wow, I'm surprised. Okay, very good. Very good indeed. Okay, I'm just going to tell my people just to speed things up a little bit right there. And there we have it. Nice victory for us. And 128. 128 renown. That's pretty crazy. And we also gain a massive amount of influence as well. Super pleased about that. And now we get the best possible reward, which of course is to basically rescue every single one of these extremely powerful Westerlands units. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of space for most of them. So yeah, I mean, look at these guys. They're tier 6 units. It pains me right now. It pains me to literally not be able to take all of them. You know what? Maybe I should start swapping out the northern units that I have in my army right here. Maybe it makes sense for me to start swapping them out, because it doesn't really make sense for me to have them on my side any further. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to swap out a bunch of these guys. And there we go. Okay, yes. Okay, that's a, oh, now we are still maxed out, hilariously enough. Yes, indeed. We are still maxed out. Okay, well, seems like I'm not going to be able to do anything with the remainder of these units. Actually, you know what? I'm going to rescue all of them. All right, I'm going to rescue all of them. This is a town, bear that in mind. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place most of these guys in the garrison, whether it goes to me or not. So I'm going to just do that real quick. Let me donate troops to the garrison. Now, bear in mind, if it does go to me, then I will, I'll then have a garrison, you know, I'll then have a garrison that can hopefully do quite well for us. But yeah, okay, so let me see. Actually, you know, taking all of those has now given me basically free reign to pick as much of the really strong units as I want and not feel too guilty about it. So I actually think that that was not a bad idea. I don't think that was a particularly bad idea. We're going to just let every single unit that is tier 3 or below, we're going to let those guys go into the garrison. And everyone else can kind of stick around and we'll see what happens with that. I do need to be a little bit careful though. Western units are really good, so I'd like to try and keep those as much as possible. I don't want to be in a situation where I mistakenly give some really, really good units to the garrison and then I'm thinking to myself, why did I do that? I am an idiot, you know, I didn't want to do anything like that. So seems like we are okay. We are still way above what I can currently hold in my army, so we're going to continue a little bit more. Okay, so let's have a look. Tier 3, there's some tier 2s. There's some tier 3s, but they are Western units, so I'd like to try and keep them if at all possible. Let's just swap these guys. Okay, so we have another 10 to go, so I guess we'll just swap these ones. And there we have it. Fantastic. Alright, so there are over 200 units in the garrison here now, which I gotta say is kind of amazing. And I'm hopeful that I will be able to impact the vote in some way or another. It's highly unlikely that that's going to be the case. Do bear that in mind. I really doubt that I'm going to be able to get myself, yeah, as you can quite clearly tell there. That's the reason why diplomacy is so fantastic, and it really is one of those, basically, I would say probably a required mod, because the base game just doesn't give you enough control over what you want to do. Because let's face it, if you want to claim one of these things, I personally feel like you should be able to do that. And even if there's some kind of downside to that, you know, even if there's like a relation decrease or an honor decrease, or maybe you receive additional taxes as a result of, you know, having so many fiefs. I think that actually is actually implemented already. But it's just a shame that I'm going to be unable to take advantage of this now. Anyway, I'm going to spend 100 influence on this guy to try and appease him a little bit, because as you can see, he no doubt, well, he doesn't really like us that much. So I'd like to try and get him on our side a little bit. And there you go. Alright, so we did actually level up. We have 4 perk points to spend as well, which I gotta say is pretty cool. And I'm actually going to be increasing my engineering this time around, and we're also going to be getting another point in vigor, because I'd like to try and keep vigor, control, endurance, and maybe intelligence around a similar level. I think they are going to be pretty useful. It feels to me like engineering's actually leveling up quite nicely, because in the previous series, engineering, I did spec into it quite a bit. But unfortunately, it seemed to have a very difficult time of leveling up, and I'm not entirely sure why that was. So yeah, it's nice to see that that's actually a little bit different. Okay, so ranged siege engines are 25% less likely to be hit while bombarding settlements. In my opinion, that's super powerful. SiegeWorks ranged siege engines have 10% more hit points in the mission as well. And settlement provides 1 extra catapult. Okay, yeah, I don't really care about that. I'm going to take the 25% dodge chance, basically. So I'm going to take that. And steward skill is pretty important as well. But this is one of the most powerful perks that I've ever seen, which is discarded armor can be donated to troops for increased experience. If you haven't seen this in action in previous series, then you're gonna see it in this one. And I highly recommend checking out some of the other series as well that feature this. The last 2 or 3 series that I created, the most recent ones, they have this perk featured pretty heavily because it's such an amazing way to level up your troops just that much faster. It really is. Anyway, we now have 285 in charm. That's going to give me more influence, which is always nice. And we also have 150 in athletics. Increases your hit point regeneration by 10% while waiting in settlements, or increases your hit point regeneration by 10% while traveling. We're going to do the while traveling one because 10%, 10%. Well, obviously that's a no-brainer. Which one is better, in my opinion? Okay, so unfortunately this is not mine any further, so I guess we will be moving on and we'll see what we can do. And I don't know whether you've noticed, but my combat strength has increased by about 100. So I basically increased my power by 30% or so, 33% or something like that, or by a third or whatever. Just hit my hand against my desk, if you heard that. That did not hurt at all. Yes, indeed. Anyway, let's see if I can maybe... Can I get him? Wait, did he just go inside? Yeah, he did just go inside. Of course he did. Okay, well, thankfully I am faster than this person, so I will be able to eliminate her potentially. And, oh, never mind. Okay, she apparently wanted to go for a wonderful little deal, which I don't actually mind that much, to be honest, because if that means that she's not going to attack me, then that just means we get a little bit more freedom to do whatever we want to do, and I quite like that. Okay, I'm going to take Starpike, I think, and this also gives me an opportunity to construct a couple of extra siege engines and things like that and level up my engineering even further. And look at that, the Westerlands are now defeating some people from the Stormlands, which is always quite nice. And I'm actually a little bit unsure as to what's actually going on in the Westerlands at the moment, because it feels to me like we are kind of spread out a little bit too much. And it feels like my forces don't really know what they're doing. It feels to me like they are kind of they're kind of a bit too just randomly doing whatever. You know what I mean? They're not really doing anything too pinpoint and too coordinated. They're just doing random stuff that doesn't really impact the course of the game as much as I would potentially want them to. And I just got shot a massive amount, really. Okay, I'm just going to zoom through here then. Oh, I didn't think that would actually work again, but apparently it does. That's amazing. Okay, yeah. Well, anyway. Oh, look at that guy. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I love that. Can we get this guy? Yes, we can. Nice headshot. Yes, he's dead as well. Nice headshot. Okay. Oh, this is amazing. These kinds of situations. Oh, it's just really, really nice. Oh. This guy. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Am I? Am I gonna die though? That's the point. Am I? I don't know. Because I might be able to escape, potentially. Ah, no, I won't be able to escape. Okay. Well, that was completely on me, obviously, because I basically just phased through the gate. I thought it would be hilarious if I did that. And I thought, oh, you know what? I actually had a whale of a time right there, because we did increase our thrown weapon skill. I thought increasing our thrown weapon skill was pretty fun. And the fact that we got to see some really, really hilarious ragdolls, I thought that was more than adequate, basically, for the cost of dying there. I didn't really mind too much about that. Oh, I didn't sell my prisoners either. That was a bit of a mistake on my part. But as you can see, this is what's going on here from the steward skill that we just gained. And you can see here that they can actually have a maximum experience gain of 15,852. So this is actually pretty nice. I don't actually need money right now. I mean, technically, yes, I could definitely use the cash, but I have so much, shall we say, money in the form of actual equipment that I don't think I really need to take more equipment, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to just go for a little bit of extra experience right there, and we're going to wait here for some time and just restore ourselves just in case someone decides to launch an attack against us again, because you never know. Oh, hello there, Desporion. Okay, I think his name might not have been changed. Oh well, let's join the defense. Oh, he's abandoning it. Okay, interesting. Okay, so they're now attacking him, which is nice to see. Massive army coming in to assist as well. Now bear in mind that this particular fief has no garrison at the moment, so I don't really want to leave it, even if it does mean that we're going to be getting into a fight. I'm going to spend 100 influence here to increase some more relation with this guy, and we're also going to be getting some additional charm skill. Now bear in mind that charm skill, once it gets to a certain point, is, in my opinion, not exactly, well, it's not exactly great, so you got to bear that in mind. But yeah, anyway, let's just do a nice little auto-resolve there, try and increase our relation a little bit, try and increase our relation with that guy as well, and then we're going to be able to take a couple of prisoners. I'm actually super surprised that I was even able to join the fight and gain some things as a result of it. I thought to myself, no way, there's no way that I'm actually going to have the opportunity to, you know, gain loot, let alone some experience. It's kind of a bit weird, right? Yeah, it was a bit weird. Anyway, this guy wants to raid some villages. I am going to murder him with some nice little auto-resolve. And we're going to take some prisoners. I am over the limit with the amount of prisoners that I have, but I am very close by to the town of Highgarden, so I should be able to go into the tavern, sell them for 12,000, which is not bad, not bad. I was actually thinking that it might be a little bit more than that, but oh well. And let's see what we can do here. So I'm just going to sell these. Oh wow, yeah, I have so much cash. I really do. I mean, look at this. One of these is 5,400, and I have an entire list of them. You see that? That is, just so much stuff in my inventory right now. It's basically filled to the brim, pretty much, and I am unable to make use of it, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to go over to Silver Hill now, actually, because I'm pretty sure... Okay. I'm going to very quickly go the other direction. They have they're actually wounded. A lot of them are actually wounded, but they have, I mean, with their wounded included, they have like 2,500, right? Yeah, it seems like they have like 2,500 people. Not combat strength, but actual people in there. That's insanity. Okay, we should be a little bit careful about that then, I suppose. Okay, so I'm going to go for Siege Medic right here, because losses to Siege Bombardment have a 50% chance of being wounded instead of being killed, which in my opinion is very good. So we're going to take Siege Medic right there. And what else do we want to do? Well, as far as I can tell, we wanted to take back Clegane's Keep, didn't we? So I'm going to go over there then, because if I can't take Silver Hill, which obviously is never going to happen, not with the amount of units that are currently there, we should probably go and attempt to take Clegane's Keep back. It's a bit weird that this has been taken, but let's see what's actually going on here. I wonder how many units they even have in the... Oh, they have 163. That's not that much. Okay, let's see what we can do then. Okay, we got a couple of people there. I'm going to just try and build some siege equipment. I would actually like to build a couple of trebuchets as well, because I'd actually like to try and level up my engineering a bit. Well, it seems like we won't be able to do that much. Yes, I've leveled up my engineering to 77. It was 73, I think, but yeah, now there's a guy that wants to engage us outside the walls, and I don't particularly want that, so we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way and just go straight on in there. We do have both siege towers and a battering ram currently built, so I suppose that's pretty good. And I'm just going to go up here, get shot in the face once again for 38 piercing damage, but I'm just going to stand here now and allow my forces to make their way over, and hopefully the battering ram will not be destroyed by the time it reaches the walls, because that has happened multiple times before, and we do want to be a little bit careful about that. Okay, here we go. There we go. Nice. Okay, let's try and get inside here now. I could just phase through, obviously, like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of superhero or something, but yeah, let's not do that again, because it turns out I'm not strong enough to actually survive while being inside the walls, because the enemy just wants to clobber me with every single unit that they have in the vicinity, which is obviously not great. But I am going to be able to maybe get... no, never mind. Okay, my forces are just way too aggressive, and they seem to be way too effective at eliminating the enemy, because I was actually going to say, maybe I'll be able to get to 200 two-handed, but no. Oh, I might be able to, actually. Maybe. Okay, we have 199. Oh, that was nice. Okay, we literally made it. Oh, that guy. That was so funny. You know, sometimes they really get the animation 100%. And I'm not talking about, you know, canned animations here, because obviously every single animation is very dynamic. The way that the developers of Bannerlord have done this is that every single unit is extremely dynamic in the way that they die. It's not a case of, you know, they're going to play, you know, one of 5 different animations. No, they don't do that. It is more a case of, this guy got hit in the, I don't know, in the shoulder, so he's going to then do this thing. He's going to get hit in the shoulder, and then he's going to do this, and whatever the physics then determine is what he should do is what he actually ends up doing. So yeah, obviously I didn't explain that you know, exceptionally well, because I never do, but generally that is the gist of things, I guess you could say, and it really makes a huge difference to the variety that you're going to see in these kinds of situations, and it's super fun to watch that. So yeah, very, very nicely done. Anyway, I'm going to take the prisoners right here. I would love to be able to take some more units, and I'm not entirely sure if I mean, I guess I can. Do I have enough space? Yeah, I do have enough space. Yeah, actually I do. More than enough. There we go. That's pretty cool. Okay. And now I can technically donate the rest for 8,600 experience. As you can see, they can actually gain a maximum of 75,000 experience. Technically, what I could do is I could literally go to my inventory and I could swap these over to the left side, and then I would be able to donate even more. So for example, if I wanted to do that, then I can now gain almost 10,000 because I've just swapped over, 15 pairs of gloves or something like that. So technically that's what I could do. But what actually happened just there? Did you see that? Did I press on something by mistake? I have no clue, but yeah, we're just going to do the 8,000 because in my opinion, I think it's probably better if we kind of keep the money, because if we do come across some towns that actually have a little bit of cash, which is for some reason kind of highly unlikely, but you know, if they do have some cash at some point, then maybe it would be kind of nice to have the ability to, you know, get a little bit more security, I guess you could say. Anyway, increase your speed damage bonus with two-handed weapons while on foot. Sounds pretty good. You gain 5 hit points. Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Every single time I look at a perk like this, and I'm not going to go on about this for 15 minutes, you know, like I have in the past, but whenever I look at one of these perks, I think to myself, 5 hit points. I have, how much? 128. Okay, so I literally have 128 hit points right now. Bear in mind that I do have a skill, or should we say not a skill, I have a mod, yes, because let's face it, they're not going to implement a skill like that, you know, not a useful one. Oh, shots fired. Okay, so anyway, point is 128 hit points. I would have 100 hit points if I did not have this mod installed. The mod gives me 2% HP per level, or 2 HP per level, which in this case is 28. And I mean, this is a 200 skill level perk, and it's giving me 5 HP personally. To me, that feels extremely useless. Now, on the other hand, the secondary of this is troops in your party having their hit points increased by 5. That's pretty good. I'd say that's quite strong, because if you think about the multiplicative, you know, sort of effect as a result of every single troop having additional 5 hit points extra, that really makes a big difference in how much survival they're going to have. But you yourself gaining 5 hit points, I mean, it basically doesn't do anything, in my opinion. It really doesn't do anything. So I'm going to be taking the speed bonus. And we also level up our engineering as well. Rams and siege towers have 33% more hit points and 12% increased build speed for town projects. Ranged troops have 50% more ammunition when besieging. None of this actually matters. I'm going to take the ram and siege tower. Having 33% more hit points might make a little bit of a difference. And we are now going to be attacked by an exceptionally large opponent. As you can see right here, Jonas Bracken himself is attempting to do something here. He has 800 combat strength, and we do not. We certainly do not. We are very far away from that. I'm going to give it to this guy, Sir Stefan Swift. And we're going to just, use 100 influence to give that to him. Hopefully he's actually going to come over here and maybe help us out, cross fingers. Maybe that would be quite nice for him to do that. But, yeah. I would highly doubt that anyone is going to appear. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Gregor himself. Look at him. He's actually coming to assist us. Wow, I never would have expected that in a million years. But yes, he actually did come over to assist. Hilariously enough, he was not on the voting list, which in my opinion is a pretty big mistake. I think that Gregor, especially considering it is literally his keep, I think it should automatically go back to him. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but generally I feel like having a vote for something that is named after someone, I don't know. And unless he's dead, obviously, I feel like it kind of makes sense to sort of just give it right back to him. I don't know, maybe that's just my own personal thought on it. Maybe, yeah, it probably is. But I think that makes more sense because it is Clegane's keep after all. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that kind of makes more sense. Okay, so we're just going to go in here, do a nice little auto-resolve just to benefit a little bit from the fight. We're going to gain a little bit of influence right there. And unfortunately, we're not going to get anything else. I mean, basically, I cannot take any additional units here. I mean, I could by getting rid of some tier 3s, and we've got a lot of recruits actually. I did not realize that. Yeah, we have quite a few recruits. I'm going to get rid of the recruits, and then we're just going to take the really high level guys, as many as we can get our hands on, and then I will take 10 recruits. There we go. Okay, that's pretty fantastic. Okay, so we actually made that work quite well. Hilariously enough. Usually that does not happen. Usually we, me specifically, make some rather questionable decisions, but otherwise, hello there. Golden Grove is now having a vote. Actually, you know what? Gregor is actually not even doing that badly. He is the owner of High Garden. Yes, he is the owner of High Garden, and that is a big upgrade for him because Clegane's Keep is just a castle, whereas High Garden is a town. So I think that makes more sense, right? That makes more sense for him to have something like that. I mean, obviously, that's the reason why he wasn't on the voting for the other place, because he already has a town. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Anyway, let's see what we can do here against Mr. What's his name? Mr. Petter something. Actually, is he anything? No. That's just literally him. That's his name. That's his whole name. All right. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And yes, a village. It's been a while since we've done a village defense, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Well, I'm kind of looking forward to this because we've only done sieges in this particular episode so far, so it would be quite nice to defend a village or so, and maybe we can do something with our thrown weapons too. We do have 202 handed now, so I should be a little bit quicker with slashes. Yeah, it seems pretty nice. Not too bad. Let's get my archers over here. Oh, I've actually just realized something. I have way too many archers. Did you notice? I have 90. Yeah, not 19, Not 19, I have 90. 90. Can you believe it? Hey guys. These guys are not gonna survive. Not in a million years. Well, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? Yes, that was pretty easy. I thought I would just shut up there for a second because obviously those, you know, there are those kinds of moments where I just think to myself, you know what? I'm actually going to try and concentrate for this one because I'd like to try and, you know, level up my thrown weapons. And we actually got some pretty cool kills, if I do say so myself. Usually I am, you know, a little bit distracted from you know, talking and so on and so forth, but generally that was actually pretty good. We got some nice headshots right there too, so pretty happy with that. Anyway, let's see if I can maybe just recruit a couple of these guys. I don't really want any militia if I can help it, so we're just gonna take some of these and guess I could take some of these as well. Not too many though. Where are the recruits? There are so many of these guys, literally. Okay, I'm just going to have to level up a couple, and then there we go. Okay, I found them now. All right, so prisoners, join me. Yes, thank you. And we can now get some people leveled up as well. Technically, I could give them 10,000 experience, but I'm once again just going to take the money. Because generally what I can do is if I want to, I can at any time go into my inventory and I can just discard stuff. So for example, if I want to discard this, boom, look at that, 4,200 experience straight away. Obviously I'm not going to do that right now because it doesn't really make any sense, but if I want to, that is a possibility. We can do that if we like. Anyway, let's have a look here. Your throwing weapons deal 50% more damage to enemies with less than 50% of their hit points left. That is a super powerful perk. However, if you think about it, most of the time I am going to be killing the person with one hit anyway. The only reason why you would use this perk is if someone else in the battle has hit them first. So for example, an arrow hitting them in the foot, for example, or maybe they've been slashed at by, you know, someone and they've, you know, got a little bit of HP left. But even in that case, if you think about it, once again, my thrown weapons deal so much damage that 50% more damage when they have, what, 10 HP left, it makes no difference. It's just a huge overkill in that aspect. So I'm actually going to be taking, you can zoom in 25% more with throwing weapons. Okay, so yeah, this is another one of those times where I just absolutely think to myself, this is, what is this? What is this? Why would I care about zooming in with thrown weapons? It's not a precision-based weapon, in my opinion. You know, it's not a sniper rifle or, you know, even a crossbow. It's literally a piece of wood that you throw at the enemy with a slightly pointy end. Yes, I mean, obviously that's an oversimplification and indeed an exaggeration on the greatest scale ever, but the fact is that's exactly what it is, you know? There's basically no point in zooming in. I mean, I never zoom in when I use ranged weapons nowadays because it generally makes it much harder to hit enemies because the drift that the crosshair gains as a result of the actual, you know, action of zooming in makes it much more difficult, you know? Makes it much more difficult. It's kind of surprising, actually. Anyway, let's have a look at what's going on over here. There's a bunch of fiefs. Ugh, they are way too powerful for me at the moment. I actually would love to be able to get... why don't these Western recruits actually level up? There we go. Okay, we finally selected their upgrade path. Okay, yeah, so generally the one thing that I really want to do is I want to try and take this section here. I want to try and take this section of fiefs because that will then connect many of our places. Unfortunately, seems like, yeah, the Reach is actually doing very well, and I think someone actually commented that the Reach has some extremely strong armies, I mean, according to the books at least. And now here's the thing, obviously, you know, in previous episodes I was saying, oh, the Reach is, you know, not so strong and so on. Well, I mean, in general, in terms of gameplay, you know, and in terms of their combat strength, as you see right here, yeah, they're not that strong. But that does not mean that they are not capable of inflicting great damage. And that's exactly what they're doing. Look at the casualties that they've inflicted so far. 8,200. And that's pretty amazing considering they're going up against a Goliath in the form of the Westerlands. I mean, they have over 20,000 combat strength. It's pretty insane. The Riverlands, on the other hand, they are not doing very well at all. As you can see right here, there's 2,000 combat strength remaining for them, and the Stormlands are also kind of dwindling a little bit there as well. But Highgarden, unfortunately, was taken back. Silver Hill seems to be besieged by Mr. Perrick. Hopefully he's going to be taking that back. Old Town is all the way down there. And yeah, well, I'm thinking we're probably going to go to Blackhaven, I think. Blackhaven is oh, hello there. Okay, let's be a little bit careful. Yeah, so I think Blackhaven is probably going to be something that will be quite eligible for us because Blackhaven is somewhere that has been besieged before and has been captured before. So it's highly unlikely that the garrison there is going to be anything too strong, I was going to say. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case, so I guess instead of besieging it, or actually, I will probably save the siege for the next episode. And for this one, that will be it. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.